Oh, you guys would not even believe how excited Brad was when we pulled up and he saw that L3902. I thought he was like a kid in a candy store or a kid at Disney World. Happy man right there.
What's up, guys? Brad here from Piney Grove, and today we've got something exciting to share with you. Now, we're Kubota strong out here in Piney Grove. We've got the Kubota L3901, but in the background you see the new updated version of this tractor, the L3902, working. We're going to go grab that tractor, put it next to this one, and compare the two. Stay tuned, this is going to be a good one. Okay, there they are. This is the L3902, and that's the L3901, and they're very similar tractors. So what Kubota has done is they've addressed some shortfalls in the L3901 model. So as we look at this here, this is basically a stock tractor. I do have the rubber foot pads on this one that actually comes from the L3902 series, but for the most part, the technical specifications are the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same engine, same transmission and all that, but there are some neat features on this L3902 I'd like to show you. So this has a regen engine just like mine. This has 3 switches for the regen, whereas mine has 2. And the biggest thing I noticed when I first got on this tractor to bring it over is you'll see over there, there's a single pedal on the left side, and let's call that our clutch pedal, even though it's a hydrostatic transmission. And on this tractor, they actually have the independent brakes, left and right brakes on the left side. So that's one big upgrade. We've already mentioned the mats. So these are the mats that come standard on the L3902. And as you can see, they fit perfectly on the L3901. So that pedal on the left side was the first thing I noticed when I got on it. On the right side, you still have the standard treadle that some people love and some people hate. I've been a Kubota owner for 13 years, so I love the treadle. But there are some people out there, especially John Deere owners, that like the 2-pedal system for the hydrostatic drive. So coming over here to the right side, there's the treadle and of course the rubber mat. Now one thing when I put this mat on the L3901, these bolts that limit the travel of the treadle, backwards and forwards, they don't line up with the holes in the mat. Here's the L3901, and this hole right here just doesn't match up with where the bolt was, which I think is about here. I've actually got to drill holes in this mat on this side and put in those limiter bolts. So sticking with the right side of the L3902, we see that the loader control stayed up front here and it didn't move to the fender. A lot of tractors have the loader controls on the fender, but they didn't do that with the L3902. What they did do is they did give you the right grab bar, and that doesn't come stock with the L3901. That's a $70 option. But the biggest thing is it's got a live PTO. So you have an electric PTO here on the L3902, and we'll show you what it looks like on the L3901. So I had to add this grab handle. That was $70. And then here's the PTO controls on the L3901. And it's a cable type control. So that's a good upgrade to go to that electric PTO as opposed to this cable driven one, because there's a lot of problems with these and a lot of people have had to change out that cable. So looking at the seat is the same. It still has that same little toolbox that a lot of people are not fond of, and that we've switched to a new toolbox on the L3901. In the back here, we still have the regular turnbuckle stabilizers. It looks like all the 3-point hitch attachments or adjustments back here are the same as the L3901. This has the R4 tires, just like the L3901. I think there's an R13 or R14 tire you can get as an upgrade, or you can get the agricultural tires. So the badging is a little different. I have a Kubota sticker behind the loader, and they actually have a metal Kubota here, and this is the 50th anniversary edition. And it looks like the hood, the front of this is changed a bit, and they've got the metal L3902 up here high, whereas the L3901 is a little lower. The loader on 3901 is a 525. This is a 526. And I don't know if the lift capacity is different. I'll look that up. If I can find that quickly, I'll put it in this video below. But otherwise, the loader looks basically the same in the front of the tractor as far as the grill guard is just a little different. Here's the L3902 grill guard. It's got Kubota written right on it. And here's the standard L3901 grill guard. You can see the 3901 is the full width of the tractor. And you can see the hood is different on the 3902, and the grill guard's not as wide on either side. But you definitely see a lot more styling in the hood of the L3902. This one came with a bucket indicator, so it's sitting down on that pin, and it comes up through here, and that tells you whether your bucket's level or not. When it sits in this little detent right here, that's when your bucket's level. The bucket itself looks the same across the top, But you'll notice on the L3901, it's straight there, and this one's got a little scoop to it. I don't know if the capacities are different, but there's definitely a little bit different styling there with the bucket. So I don't want to scratch their new tractor, but I did pop the hood and put my hand here so it wouldn't hit this metal bar. Wasn't sure if Kubota had fixed that, where you could maybe pop the hood without moving the grill guard, but just like the L3901, you got to come in here and you've got to move the grill guard in order to pop the hood. So with the hood popped, I can clearly see up here to the engine. I don't see any difference in the way the hydraulic coolers are split to let more airflow come into the radiator. That's something the L3901 has. The battery's in the same place. The radiator coolant jug is in the same place. The air filter's in the same place. The DPF filter is in the same place. So without knowing or contacting Kubota, it looks like it's the same engine here that's in the L3901. So that's all very similar there. Everything as far as the way this closes and the way this grill guard snaps back is the same as the L3901. One thing I do notice is that this has a little bit more clearance between the hydraulic guards and the front of the grill guard here. If we come over to the L3901, you see that I probably have a little bit less clearance. But then again, the L3901 has been used, so maybe there's a little bit of looseness in the pins of the loader, which allows that clearance to kind of close up when you're pushing forward. One thing I do notice is that the fuel filter right here, or the fuel water separator, this one is a lot bigger than the L3901. Mine is a real small plastic one. It's hard to see through. This one is either a clear plastic or it's glass, and it's a lot bigger. And you can easily see that as you're sitting in the operator seat to see if you have any contaminants or water in your fuel. While I'm here, we opened up with the fact that there's no clutch pedal on the left side of this tractor. But the two brakes that would be on the L3901 that would be right here have now moved to the left side. And the reason that that's really important is you need your right foot to make your tractor go forward and backward with the HST pedal here. With those two brakes on the L3901, there was no way you could use your right foot to use the brakes and the gas pedal, so to speak, at the same time. By moving them to the left side, now you can lock the left tire, the left rear tire of the tractor, and spin it on a dime. And I'll go over to the 3901 and show you the difference. So here on the 3901, if I want to go forward, I push down on this HST pedal, but I can't use my foot also and lock. You can unlock your brakes so they're not locked together. What you would do on a farm tractor, like a clutch tractor that I grew up with, is you would take this and you would lock the rear right side, and that would make the tractor spin more to the right or quicker to the right, and you would do the same thing on this side. Well, you've got to be pushing this down, and you can't do both with a HST pedal. So having split brakes really doesn't help you on the L3901, but over here on the L3902, let me show you how you can actually spin this tractor quicker. So here on the L3902, you can run these brakes where the two pedals are fused together with this little keeper, or you can flip that over and then use the left brake. So what you would do, use your HST pedal to go forward and then hold this. This would lock the left rear tire and the tractor would go to the left a lot quicker. I'm not actually going to demonstrate that because it's not my tractor, and also I don't want to mess up my pasture. All right guys, that's a very quick seat of the pants comparison between the L3902 and the L3901. I was very happy to see that tractor on the property when we drove up this morning, and I thought it'd make a great video for you Kubota lovers out there that want to see the difference between the two models. What I'm hearing from the dealer is that it's not a huge price difference between the 3901 and the 3902 because Kubota is still making both models. So if I was considering buying a Kubota 39 horsepower tractor and I was deciding between the L3901 and L3902, I think it will be worth it to pay a little bit more for the L3902 just because of those extra features that it has that'll make the tractor easier to use. That's going to do it for today's video, folks. If you enjoyed it, please click that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. What are you waiting for? Subscribing is 100% free. But otherwise, that's all I've got. So until the next video, y'all take care out there. And remember, life is short, tractor hard.
So if seeing the tractor when we pulled up wasn't exciting enough, he got to drive the tractor. This has been a good day for Bradford. And there's the L3901. Hope she's not too sad and doesn't feel like she's going to constantly be compared to L3902. Poor girl.